Doug Pederson, Eagles head coach here on the Rich Eisen Show. Have you spoken to Carson Wentz about when he does get back out there to chill out with the head first diving and get out of bounds, get down, that sort of thing, Coach?
Yeah, we continue to have those conversations. We for the last 2 years we've talked about that kind of stuff, and it's the thing you really love about him. It was the aggressiveness and the eagerness to get as much as he can, but at the same time, you're cringing every time he takes a shot, and so we just got to continue to educate, continue to talk, and just keep working and keep fighting through it. But for me, I still don't want to take the aggressiveness away from him, because that's what makes him very special.
What is he like right now? I mean, what is he looking like right now with the idea? Clearly, you're not going to name a starter for Week 1 right here on the Rich Eisen Show, although I'd appreciate it if you did. I'll be very honest.
Yeah, if you just go on record right now.
Yeah, please.
I'm very, very encouraged where Carson is in his rehab. He's working extremely hard to get himself back out on the football field, and he's just doing everything possible, to hopefully be that day one starter. We're just not there yet with it, and yet still optimistic, even with all our injured players, that they'll be ready at some point. And my biggest thing is I just don't want to rush him out there too soon and make it any worse than it has to be. So when he's ready, and we'll go with that.
Well, and I'd love to ask you in a few minutes I have left with you about the rookie quarterback class that just came in, and there's been so many comparisons to Carson Wentz, Josh Allen being one. First question, just to maybe give an idea to the fan base here, just how deep you go for a draft. Did you evaluate any quarterbacks this year? Did you get into that at all?
We did. I didn't spend as much time with the top tier guys, because they were all guys that were going first, second round, which we knew we weren't going to be in that market, obviously, for a quarterback. But some of the younger those 3, 4, 5 mid-round guys were guys that we felt if we had the opportunity, we could draft one. But we only had 5 draft picks too, so
right.
It was a little probably far-fetched that we were going to do that, but my evaluation on these guys was not as much, obviously, or as extensive as it was when we were evaluating Carson and Jared Goff and Paxton Lynch and those guys coming out a few years ago.
Right. So let me ask you then what I asked Andy Reid on this show just a couple of weeks ago, since obviously you know him intimately, and John Dorsey having come from there. Were you surprised that the Dorsey Browns chose Baker Mayfield atop the draft?
No, because that was the guy they had targeted. That was the guy that was going to be their fit. Knowing a little bit about John Dorsey, and one thing with Baker Mayfield is he definitely brings a level of excitement. Love his athleticism, his mental toughness, his whole makeup, as a quarterback, and that's what probably attracted Cleveland to him, among other things. And I don't want to speak for them, but those are things that you see on the outside that would definitely draw the attention to somebody like Baker.
Well, then maybe we finish this line of questioning with this question then, because all of us sitting there on the draft set at the NFL Network, we're like, well, who's got a chance to start this year? And none of us a couple of years ago would have said Carson Wentz on the day of the draft, and that's exactly what ended up happening, right? So you can never tell.
Yeah.
But so help the fans who are maybe thinking that their rookie quarterback could start. When did that moment for you come to a crystallization that maybe Wentz, it could be the guy for you to start? How did that come about? What did you see?
Well, for us, it that ball began rolling back when we had our first rookie minicamp 2 weeks after the draft, when we drafted Carson Wentz, and just saw his eagerness to study, his eagerness to learn, the athleticism, the arm strength, the intelligence, all the things that we saw and kind of knew going into the draft about him. We were seeing it firsthand on the football field. And then once we got into training camp and some of the throws he made and some of the decisions he's doing with some of the runs that he's making, the scrambles, it's sort of the eyebrow raising, like this kid could be, pretty special at some point. I didn't think it necessarily was going to be our first year, my first year, but then fast forward to the end of training camp, he actually had an injury in training camp that year that sidelined him for 3 games, the last 3 preseason games. And even from that standpoint, we were still very hesitant to say, he's going to be the week 1 starter. But we went to Indianapolis that year and had a preseason game in Indianapolis and put him through an extensive pregame. He wasn't playing in the game, obviously, but we put him through an extensive workout and really came away feeling very comfortable and confident that this at some point possibly he could be our starter, in the first year. And then, of course, a few weeks later, we made the trade with Minnesota. Unfortunate injury with, Teddy Bridgewater. So Sam Bradford went and, made the decision to start Carson. My first year, his first year. And if we were going to take lumps, let's do it together. Let's get them out of the way. Let's learn from each other. If we're going to hopefully be together for several years, let's start it in year 1.
Sure.
And so that was the decision to go ahead and start him that first year.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.